God took Prophet Ezekiel to a valley full of dry, dead bones, and he asked him one question that is echoed through history ever since. Can these bones live? This teaching is for everyone who has looked at their life and honestly wondered the same thing. Ezekiel 37, from verse 1 to 2. The hand of the Lord was on me, and he brought me out by the Spirit of the Lord and set me in the middle of a valley. It was full of bones. He led me back and forth among them, and I saw a great many bones on the floor of the valley, bones that were very dry. Very dry. These bones were not recently dead. They were not holding on to some form of life. They were just super dry. This was not a situation that looked like it had any potential. No moisture, no flesh, no breath, just dry bones, bleached by the sun, scattered across the valley floor, beyond any human hope of recovery. And yes, God brought Ezekiel there deliberately, not to show him this hopeless situation, but he was about to show him what he would do with that one. The valley was not the problem. The valley was the setting for the miracle. Ezekiel 37:3. He asked me, Son of man, can these bones live? I said, Sovereign Lord, you alone know. Can these bones live? This is the most important question God ever asked a prophet. And Ezekiel gave the wisest possible answer. Sovereign Lord, you alone know. It was difficult to say yes confidently. At the same time, would he confidently know if the bones would not live? That is the posture of faith when everything looks dead. Not pretending everything is fine. At the same time, you cannot give up completely, but placing the impossible in the hands of the only one who knows what is possible. What valley are you standing in today? What in your life looks so dry, so dead, so beyond recovery that human answers have run out? Sovereign Lord, you alone know. That is where faith begins. God did something unexpected. He did not just resurrect the bones himself. Rather, he told Ezekiel to speak to them. Ezekiel 37:4. Then he said to me, Prophesy to these bones, and say to them, Dry bones, hear the word of the Lord. Prophesying to the bones, speaking to what looks dead. Declare God's word over what appears dead and buried and finished. And Ezekiel obeyed. Ezekiel 37, from 7 to 8. So I prophesied as I was commanded, and as I was prophesying, there was a noise, a rattling sound, and the bones came together, bone to bone. I looked, and tendons and flesh appeared on them, and the skin covered them, but there was no breath in them. A rattling sound, bone coming to bone, tendons appearing, flesh covering. So the miracle began with a sound. Before anything was visible, there was that rattling. Sometimes, the first sign of your resurrection is that sound in the spirit before anything is visible in the natural. A stirring, a prompting, a word, something moving before anything has changed yet. That rattling is God working. But here's what most people miss about the story. The bones came together, the flesh appeared, the bodies were formed. But there was still no breath. And a body without breath is still a corpse. Ezekiel 37, verse 9 to 10. Then he said to me, Prophesy to the breath. Prophesy, Son of Man, and say to it, This is what the Sovereign Lord says. Come, breath from the four winds, and breathe into these slain, that they may live. So I prophesied as he commanded me, and breath entered them, and they came to life, and stood up on their feet, a vast army. Come, breathe from the four winds. The Hebrew word for the breath here is RUACH, the same word used for the Spirit of God in Genesis 1. The same breath that moved over the waters at creation, the same breath that entered Adam's nostrils, the same breath that raised Jesus from the dead. That breath entered the valley, and the vast army stood up. This is not just a few survivors, or maybe a small remnant, a vast army, from dry, scattered bones to a vast army. This is what God does with dead things when His breath enters them. Ezekiel 37:11 reveals that this vision was not just about Israel. It was about a people who said, Our bones are dried up and our hope is gone. We are cut off. Our hope is gone. We are cut off. This is the language of people who had given up. We have looked at their situation and concluded it was over, just dead over. Maybe that is you today. Relationships that look dead, a dream that looks finished, a calling that looks buried, faith that feels dry, a health situation that seems untenable. And the enemy has told you, well, your bones are dry, your hope is gone, you are cut off. But God sent Ezekiel to that valley, and He is sending this word to your valley today. Can these bones live? He is not asking if they live if you work hard enough, or will they live if you perform well enough. Simple question. Can they live? And the answer is the same as it was in the valley. Sovereign Lord, you alone know. And He does know. And He is still breathing on dry bones, and He is still raising vast armies from dead things. This valley you are in is not your ending. You are in the setting for your own miracle. Romans 4:17. The God who gives life to the dead and calls into being things that were not. Yes, He calls into being things that were not. That is your God, standing in your valley right now. Not looking at what is, but calling into being something that does not yet exist. These bones were dry. This situation was beyond human hope, and God turned it into a vast army. Whatever is dry in your life today, bring it to God, who breathes on dead things. He is still in that business. Can those bones live? Yes, when God breathes on them. Can those bones live? Yes, the sovereign God knows. Can your situation change? Yes, when you bring it to the sovereign Lord. There is nothing He cannot do. He is the God of all grace.